Hi Libra, welcome to Karma on Deck. This is your weekly reading for March 22nd, 21. Let's take a look and see what your energy looks like, Libra. Let's give this a good shuffle. We went Leo, Virgo, Libra. And let me double check that you can hear me. Yes, I see sound. Okay, great. There's a tech issue with everything today. Cut it out. Okay, here we go, Libra. All right. Here we go. Seven of Wands, overwhelm, Five of Swords. And I was reading Libra's horoscope. I like to kind of channel Libra in general and the sign itself before I start, and I accidentally glanced at somebody's horoscope and it said overwhelm. It's funny that you have the Seven of Wands when that came out, which is overwhelm. And it just might feel as if you're not getting attention, right? I'm seeing the Five of Swords, which is conflict. And hi, Stacey. I'm also seeing the Two of Swords, which is indecision, and the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands has to do with your house and home. Okay, I need to slow down is what I need to do. Queen of Wands, which is decision making and leadership, how you're loving on things, how you're, making your focus and how you're interacting with life in general. A lot of new beginnings are happening for everyone right now, which is interesting because it is spring. We just crossed the spring equinox and we're on toward the warmth in the summer and bringing in heat, right? So I'm seeing the moon card for you, just like well, never mind. Anyways, the moon card is our card for mapping. If you look at this card, she has the Pisces here, okay? And the Pisces is all about moons, emotion, and moods, okay? And as we're feeling, there is this emotion, about what we're doing. These are the two pillars in our life, the light and the dark, the strengths in our life. These are the milestones that we find ourselves in. And what we do is we sit here in the middle and we try to decide what we're going to do moving forward. And there's a little bit of a crab in the front that's nipping at us, trying to make us pay attention to our decisions as we go forward. Here's another card for overwhelm. If you notice, what this card's depiction is about is we have swords going in every direction. As you move forward, you have to encounter them. And as you encounter these different situations, it seems to be that there's a little bit too much going on, a little bit too many inputs and decisions to be made and overwhelm, right? And he's got these blinders on. Now, the only way that he's going to find a solution to this is if he looks up. And he doesn't even think to look up because he's got the blinders on. So what that tells me is think outside the box. Stop looking at things conventionally. Don't come at it the same way with the same hammer. Use a different tool. Use a different, go from beneath. Come from above. Actually walk away from it and look at it in a different way. Or have someone else approach it for you. Get experts. Do it as a group. Look at all the different ways to come at a solution. Or even I was telling, I think, Virgo, I was saying let go of, the decision making and unplug for a little bit so you can look at it objectively. Hi, Snacks. So as you have this overwhelm going on, the Seven of Wands, which isn't even about anxiety, it's just so many things, one thing after another that you have to do. I'm also seeing the Empress, which is a very protective and nurturing nature, just like the Queen of Wands. So just, these cards don't always have to refer to male and female. They have to do with the kind of energy that's being produced and what they represent. So as you're channeling this energy, you have the Empress and the Queen. And those are both very nurturing energies. We don't always have to be aggressive with a situation. Male dominant, forward moving energy, feminine, which is receiving and protective energy. So sometimes we're in a protective mood, right? And so we have these King of Wands and King of Cups. So how do I come from a place of leadership that is both strong and loving? Empress energy. Channel Empress energy, which is loving, gathering your tribe, etc., right? So when you have this energy of Empress, it's protectant. And it also has a child or an egg, which refers to our, protecting the thing that we've built. So if you look at this in not a feminine aspect, but as in let's say you're a business owner and you have somebody coming in that has investment money, but they want to change the idea of how you do business, and you don't want to shift that. So instead you would want to protect that energy and that belief system, right? I do see a little bit of, energy that has to do with miscommunication for you as well, indicated by the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords is our card for miscommunication, and it literally means heartbreak without communication, or heartbreak will be the result if you don't communicate to what it is that you want. And that's very important to do. It's a very vulnerable place to come from. It's difficult to say what we want, especially if we don't know how it's going to be received. Because a lot of times when something's very important to us and we feel awkward about it, like I was thinking today, like how refreshing that I live in a home now where I don't have to ask permission to get the snake. Who's going to like it? Who's not going to like it? Right? And the bird and the cat. I don't like cats. Kids in the house. I'm building a garden with the way that I want to do it. Funky, witchy stuff. I've got sage and lavender and jasmine, right? Sigils and salt on my front door. Actually get to be this weird, random, eclectic, eccentric ass lady. And sometimes it's hard to speak to what we want. So if we want the raise, if we want our business or our relationship to be the way we want it to be, we have to speak to it. And speaking to those vulnerable things is difficult. It's painful, it's scary, and what if they don't accept it? And then coming to the place where if they accept it or not, I'm good with it. One of the hardest lessons I've ever had to learn, and the most beautiful. Because now I walk in this place where I'm good, like wherever I'm at, right? Get there. Let me see what else is important about this. Indecision is a killer, though. You do have the Two of Swords, and that's indecision. So hesitation is okay when you're gathering data, but when you've gathered enough data, decisions have to be made, because ultimately there's this pause that can happen. You get one wheel moving. So this applies, this is a witchy thing. So get one wheel moving, like clean a closet, pay a bill, get your money moving. Even though you feel overwhelmed that there's too many things for the money you do have. Pay a bill. Pay one small thing off. Even if you can't pay the big one, you can make progress on one of them that shows your brain, your reticular activating system in the back of your subconscious. Like, make a new commitment. Am I in or am I out? It's really as simple as that, whatever the dynamics are. And then once you make that decision, everything seems to fall a little bit differently. All right, let's pull some cards from the Mystic Dreamer for the moon reading. Book your one-on-one karmaondeck.com. Now, this isn't just for tarot readings. I am a life coach, an NLP practitioner, hypnotherapy, timeline therapy, Reiki, mediumship. Astrology's almost there. I teach tarot. So if you want to play with any of that, let me know. I do spiritual mentorship. I get you meditating right. I get you a little bit of astrology and tarot. And I get you a little bit of Reiki so you can understand your energy fields and how it works. And we play with a little bit of this energy so you get competent. Come play with me. Learn tarot. 8 weeks. KarmaOnDeck.com. All right. Libra moon, Uranus, the Fool, Seven of Cups, that overwhelm again, the World card, Saturn, rules also, Saturn, Aries, how you're approaching things, Page of Pentacles. So again, there's some new beginnings when it comes to money. I see the Six of Cups, a little nostalgia. You want things to go back the way they were, much more so than the other earlier. Definitely focus on your legacy and your money. What is it about fear with you right now? Because I'm seeing fear, Libra. This card here, the moon, is Pisces. So Pisces and moon energy. Now, not only is this secrets, the moon has to do with emotions. So where are your emotions at? Are you having a hard time balancing them? And what is it you're afraid of? Because I'm seeing the Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. What are you building? Because it tells me that you're concerned about how your legacy is turning out and what it is you're guiding yourself toward. Make sure that you have yourself in alignment to get where you need to go, and others will follow, right? We have the Judgment card, Pluto. Judgment card. So here's this card that I just had a new relationship with in teaching my tarot class. When we were discussing the Seven of Swords, I often call this card the sneaky card, or if I see it, like they're being kind of sneaky. But sneaky doesn't always apply. This card here has to do with winning at any cost, or taking an opportunity and making it, and making the best of a bad situation, right? And that's not always bad. It's like growing where you're planted type shit. So when you have this card, the Seven of Swords, if you notice they're on a battlefield, and after the battle is over, they go in and they collect the iron and the gold and the little trinkets and the swords, and they make their money by, making good of a bad situation. So this Judgment and the King of Wands, as you're moving forward, trying to realign things around new information, let's use our C word, quarantine word. What have you done with this is that Six of Cups, which is nostalgia, and next to it is feeling cheated and not liking things the way they are. And as we play with this energy, like, how are we moving forward? Are we making the best of a bad situation, or are we just like making our life miserable because we decided this one thing is bad? Right? So the Seven of Swords isn't always about being sneaky, yet it reminds us that there are ways that you're going about things that could get you, that could get you looked at, or their perception might be, well, you did this. I recently had a photo. I recently had a photo of a client of mine that I sent to Paranormal Association of Georgia, whatever that's called, Paranormal Society of Georgia, who does ghost hunting, good friend of mine. And this picture went viral. I was literally asking for resources to help this lady clear some energy. What ended up happening is people thought it was fake, and they thought we were doing it for attention. And of course, we're just like, what? So sometimes other people's perception can cause us a little bit of wrecking. And so it causes us to wonder, should we put everything out there or not, right? We can't really control a lot of that. So Seven of Swords, maybe something that you're doing will be perceived strangely. And ultimately, you know your own heart. So there is a little bit of fear there. And I see the Emperor and the World card. So with the Emperor and the World card, it just feels like the Emperor is the card for leadership without asking permission. So when I describe the Emperor, because each and every one of them is a different aspect of human development and growth. And the Emperor is someone who is a leader, right? Someone who is direct, forward. We had the Empress earlier for Virgo, right? And the Emperor is someone who, the husband that says, I'm not thinking of getting a car, the husband that comes home with one. The boss that decides that they're going to change the whole direction in the life of the company without telling anyone what they want to do, but suddenly we're on a new track. The Emperor is a controlling person, too. Okay? Aries energy, war, anger. But this also can sometimes be with, leadership that means you really have to just take bold moves. Let's pull a card from Divination of the Ancients for you. Let's see if I can go one more today or not. Let me see. Scorpio next, one of my favorites. All right, here we go. I Ching, change. Are you comfortable with change? I am very comfortable with being uncomfortable. After 20-something years of leadership classes and being put in uncomfortable situations so you can see what comes up, now I encourage those moments because those are the ones that I learn the best from. Those are the best teaching moments, is when change is happening, how you're reacting, how you're behaving, what comes up. So change is at hand. Are you afraid of change? Are you embracing change? Flow, flow, flow. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I am going to come back over here and do one more Scorpio, because that is my favorite sign for me. And the Scorpios in my life are beautiful. So I will catch you guys on the flip side. Remember, the answer to every question is love. If you can find love in the situation, that's the answer. Thank you. I'll catch you on the flip side.